Peace, love, light, y'all. Hope you're all doing good. Shout out to the blue light glasses. If y'all are staring at screens all day, get the blue light glasses. Blue light's not natural. Has like a, can you even see it? I don't know. It has like a blue tint over it. Stops the blue light. If you're staring at screens, helps out a little. Okay, talking about Kanye. Yes. And if you haven't been listening to his music, you should listen to his music. Pretty good. All right, boom. Next, he dropped a podcast with Joe Rogan yesterday. And let me tell you, that shit is flame, dog. For anyone freely diagnosing this man with whatever mental disorder you want to call it, and saying that you shouldn't vote for him because he has a mental disorder, do you think it's right just to freely diagnose someone with a mental disorder if you don't know them? Like, no one said he has a mental disorder except for you. You saw someone say that shit and you ran with it, and now you freely going around saying that someone is mentally incapable. Think about that for a second. We'll stop and think about that for a second. Okay, now you realize that it's dumb. We can move forward. All right. So if you haven't listened to him talk, you should really listen to the things he's saying. He talks about from everything from the capitalistic system to institutionalized racism to self-sustainable farming, which is crazy for like him to talk about. And he's talking about his shoes, the foam runners. By the way, I'm copping those easy. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm copping the foam runners. All right, you should too. They're $20. They're 3D printed, made in 25 minutes. Destroy fashion culture. You should destroy that the whole capitalistic culture. I just want to bring up some important points that Kanye talked about that I think really resonated with me. At first, I really thought that this nigga was just gonna get up there and start talking some stupid ass shit. That's real. I mean, because like that's the perception that he's been given for how many months, how many odd months, how many odd like years now. He's been just like being made fun of. So like when you hear a podcast that he's doing, you're gonna think, oh, this dude is just speaking some stupid stuff. But even on Twitter, I shouldn't have gone on Twitter. I've been trying to get off of social media, but I saw this and then I tried to like spread awareness about like the podcast and listening to him talk. I went on Twitter, right, and I just was like, let me just see what people are saying about the podcast in particular right now, right? So I put it there, and people were really speeding up speeding up how he was talking just to make him look like maniac. Because if you listen to him talk, he was calm and collected the whole time. Or, I mean, he speaks like all over the place, so his thoughts weren't collected, but like they're thought out, right? So like, but people were really like putting what he was saying on like 1.5 times. So he looked like he was fucking maniac. And that's real. Like, this is the type of stuff that people have been doing to this man for years. And then instantly take him right out of context. Like, he was talking about the whole thing. Like, he just gets taken out of context. So now, let's talk about it. First one, everyone says that he's gonna go say that he's saying that slavery was a choice. He is 100% right. When you get up and go work your 9 to 5, you're working for 40 hours a week. You have no time. You literally wake up, go to work, come home, go to sleep, get up, go to work again. You're gonna do that 5 days a week. You're gonna have 2 days off for the next 50 years of your life till you're 65. After you're 65, you're just waiting to die. That's like, but like that's harsh, but like that's the real reality of like life and what it is. We're stuck in a system, and then you say, oh, you have 8 hours off to like spend with your family. It ain't even 8 hours, because especially if you live in LA, well, I live in Stockton right now. So like in Stockton, niggas, their commute is to San Jose or further, or San Francisco. If you in LA, you live in an LA suburb and you drive into LA. Like, this was how it was all designed. So now your commute is an hour and a half, 2 hours a day, right? This isn't like far-fetched. So you waking up, your commute is an hour and a half to 2 hours a day. You working your 9 to 5 or whatever 8 hour shifts you have. Then you have another 2 hour, hour and a half commute when you go home, and then you go to sleep. It isn't, oh, I have 8 hours on, 8 hours off, 8 hours sleep. That's not how it works. The commute is designed to take your time too. And you have to recognize this. This is all a plot in the system. This is why you have to get independent right now. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If there's one thing you should have learned from this, what are we in a pandemic? If there's one thing you should have learned from this pandemic, it's that the government does not give two shits about you. And that's real. This whole pandemic, what do we get? $1,200. They gave us $1,200 for the whole thing. I don't know about y'all personally, but I haven't gotten any unemployment benefits. So I've just been like working, trying to like scrape shit together. Real talk. But you know, I'm living in abundance. I know that the universe has got me covered. But that's real. Haven't gotten no handouts. Government doesn't care. Government doesn't care about you. They don't care about us. They see that 3 million people in New York are starving, or I think it was 2 million. There's a big difference between 2 and 3 million, so I'm gonna go say 2 million. 2 million people in New York are starving, but they arguing over a little bit of budget cuts to fucking just give people the money that they need. You see people are homeless. No one cares. You see, like, all these things are evident. All these things are noticeable. But what is the government arguing over? Like budget cuts? Really? People are starving and you're arguing over budget cuts. It doesn't make sense. Get independent. Make your own business. Make your own company. Stop working these 9 to 5s. When like, everyone on here talking about, so-and-so sold their soul. Like, what artists, what rappers sold their soul, blah, 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 blah. You're working a 9 to 5, though, so who sold their soul? Like, you're just hating on someone that's living their life right now, but you working a 9 to 5. Like, we gotta think about this. We really gotta think about this before we just start throwing judgments on people. Oh, and so the Black Panther, that really opened my eyes when he started talking about the Black Panther, because now they've changed it. Like, and this is real. If you used to, before the Black Panther movie came out, if you looked up the Black Panthers, it showed up, all that showed up was either the animal, or mainly what showed up was a political party, right? Now, if you look up Black Panther, what's gonna show up? A superhero. And who is the superhero made by? Disney. And what is Disney? Disney's a racist company. If you were really interested in seeing if Disney is racist or not, like, you can just go look up who Walt Disney was hanging out with and see the stuff they made earlier. Like, Disney has a foundation of being a racist company, and to think that has simply changed because, like, someone said so, like, that doesn't make sense to me. Boom. Now they've created superhero, so now when you look up Black Panther, you don't see what you're supposed to see, which is the political party. You only see the superhero. Okay. Yeah, he talked about sustainable farming. We need to stop treating kids like they're kids and not treat them just like regular adults. Like, there's no reason why a kid can't start learning how to farm when they're a kid. There's no reason why the kid can't start learning physics when they're a kid. And then furthermore, you have all the brightest minds in like schools and shit, right? You have the brightest minds going to MIT. Like, you have the smartest people in the world going to work on the littlest things. And then you have kids growing up and they can't even take care of themselves because everything that they learn is, oh, you can't do this right now because you're a kid. Why can't a kid learn how to work on a vertical farm? Like, these are important questions that I've had to ask, and no one is really willing to ask it. But long story short, the revolution is coming. I hope y'all get ready for it. There's something my history teacher told me in middle school, and it was that the economic conditions for the French Revolution were better than the economic conditions we have today. But the only reason why that we won't revolt or have a revolution is because we're too comfortable. That's real. Peace, light, love, y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'm out.